last week we met the fascinating coach Tshandu and heard his story of a journey from gangsterism to being pretty much the only coach in the townships. But that's where his troubles began. Let's hear more.
So what I've done, I wanted now to introduce the concept in the township.
Right.
That's where the problem starts. So when I started doing Facebook, I didn't know what to do basically.
Yeah.
How to introduce it in, because everyone was talking motivation. I'm saying I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm a life coach. I'm a coach. What is that? I constantly needed to explain myself. So I went into Facebook. I opened the page. I put the definitions there, but they still didn't make sense to people. So I said, you know what? Let me put people into a room and do this thing. Let them experience it. So I started with seminars. So I did seminars in the township, the life coaching. They said, what's that? Now people wouldn't buy tickets. Literally, only the close friends would buy 3 or 4 tickets out of a room that accommodates 200 people. And I lost money for several times doing that.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I'm going to take my last cent. I booked a venue. I did a free seminar. People came. Because I used to say life coaching seminar, but I realized people don't relate.
Yeah.
I've put topics now that we're going to talk about. Then people related to that, which is my audience understands this. But if you were to go to a white, superior kind of audience, and you say NLP seminar, they will say, wow, we're coming.
Yeah.
But if you go to my people and say NLP seminar, they're like, wow, what's that? And who are you, by the way?
Exactly.
But if I were to go into the gangster space, partying space, people know me because I lived there for long. But if you go into this personal development space in terms of seminars, and they're like, who are you? So new concept, new face.
Yeah, too much.
Too much, yeah. So I did the seminars. So we'd have the first one, we had about 56 people, which was a good number for me.
Sure.
They were like, wow. So life coaching is the fast and effective techniques of change.
Yeah.
So it's immediate.
And it's also self-empowering.
Yes.
You know? But I've always got the sense that people really try, well, they will do what they can to try and change themselves.
It's human nature. It's human nature wanting to be better. It's within human nature. Regardless of the activity you do, you always want to improve, want to be better. But they don't. It's a how-to. That's the challenge. So when I did the seminars, free ones, people experience. So when I do the next one, they want to come. So I will do one and do another one in 6 months. People like, you're taking too long to come with another one. Whilst we're still excited, bring in another one.
Yeah.
I'm like, but you need the budget for this. You don't just bring. So I did that and I did that up to a point where I decided I'm going to do 4 a year. So I've got 4 set seminars with different issues. So now this is where it becomes different with the national standard practice of NLP.
Right.
Now I would look, what is the main challenge in this community? Like currently the one I'm going to do now in November, we're talking relationships. So learning from previous seminars and looking at the challenge now, okay, it's a relationship and these people are willing to spend. So it's a relationship. So another one is relationship, but you don't just say relationship. You say, what are you going to talk about in relationship? So we're talking baby mama, baby daddy issues. We're talking how to communicate in relationships. We're talking how to problem solving relationship, arguments and that. Then people can relate. Right. So that's how my audience works. They need to see themselves with
it makes good sense.
Yeah. So if I were to standardize, then that's where the problem came. I got a Facebook message. Who do you think you are? Why would you bring NLP to your people? NLP is not good. You see what it did to America. Like, I'm looking at this. Like, who are you?
See what it did to America.
It's an American person. Like, they criticizing me, trying to build my community.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Now I have one principle. If you're not talking to me directly, I do not entertain you.
Right.
Because I would have to entertain every comment and everything.
Exactly.
So you rather call me, talk to me and say, Coach Tshandu, I would like to know more about this. So I also train myself to move away from criticizing people, but into understanding people, why they behave in a certain way. So I don't judge you, but when I look at you doing something that I don't agree with or something I don't know, I don't judge you and give you a label, but I ask myself important question. Why is he doing this?
Yeah.
Maybe what's the benefit? Maybe what's that? I don't look and say, but judging you and putting you in lower. So that's how I treat life currently. So I ignore such until I'm engaged in them. But the main challenge is now, like you say, in NLP, in our townships, now in terms of budget, they can't afford the seminars, or they're not willing to pay for the seminars. So I went to schools, I went to MPOs, putting proposals, team building proposals, and all that. I've realized in that field again, if your name is Tshandu and you're African and you're talking team building, to them, they are programmed in their mind, doesn't make sense. Your name should be English or African surname, then it makes sense. It doesn't make sense one of their own doing this because they don't see one of their own being in this field. That's the challenge now we're facing on this. Now, taking it a step further, going to companies, putting on proposal, trying to get appointments to present what you can do for them to change their staff behavior so that they can have more profits, changing the behavior, changing the mindset, instilling the vision and the mission of the company to their neuro so that it produces ideas for them to do thing production quicker and effectively. They get more profit with less time, more production with less time. They look at that, the proposal is good, but who's this? Like,
So how have you managed to get past that?
I'm still there.
You're still there.
I'm still stuck there.
Well, listen, the fact is that, you know, I don't know if there are any other coaches in the townships.
No.
So that's where you're a groundbreaker.
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be a time
Yeah.
when coaches are just the same as like anywhere else.
Yeah.
And it won't seem strange, but someone needs to start it. And
Yeah.
that's
You see, that's the difference between me. So you'd find people in the townships calling themselves coaches because you had a problem, they managed to assist you.
Right.
They will title themselves coaches. So if you do, I'm a coach by nature, by gift, but I'm also a coach by profession.
Yeah, you've studied it.
So there's a big difference.
That's a big
So there's an argument now when we're talking in the coffee shop saying, we only know why coach is you. But there's a lot of people calling themselves coaches, but they wouldn't conversate with you, they told us, because they say they respect you.
Right.
They know you know your story.
Right.
They would wish to be like you. I said the problem is that they've defined themselves as this, so the mind thinks that they've already achieved. Right. So it's not going to show them how to grow. They could have said, I'm striving to be, then would develop them. Which brings me to my vision, is to have a coaching academy in the township, where I do a master trainer, a master coach certification, where I can produce coaches and then work with companies. So that with companies, I would change behavior to increase profits, but I would also have a residential coach that every employee has an access to.
That's brilliant, because it'll break down the misperception on both sides. Both within the township, where they're thinking, well, how can you be one of us? And both from the other side, where they're thinking, well, you know, you don't fit into the right picture. You know, you're not doing what
that's where I'm going. Because what government did, they moved most of the government branches to the townships. If you can see now, currently there's social development in the township, there's a hospital, there's there's NPOs, there's that. So those people are my clients, but they wouldn't let you in.
Right.
So what I've done, I've been doing my work for free now. I've offered them 2-hour sessions, and they were like, wow, great, we won this. But there will be that one person leading the whole thing, who is white anyway.
Right.
They'll be like, not this one.
Yeah.
I had an incident last month. We sent everything in this one organization in Kaija. We're like, this is great. We've seen you presenting in the... Great. They sent the staff. The staff said to the person, we want this. The person called me, send us your staff. And I sent to him. 2 weeks after, I went in there. So how far are you with logistics and the organizing? Yeah. Like, no, it already happened last week. But what happened? You know, they called in this other guy who was white to come and do it. And okay, that's fine. It's work for him as well. But and then I asked for feedback from the employees. So how was it? Like, this was a waste of time.
Well, then there's that missing ingredient of relating to.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, plus, I mean, as you said, there is the issue that they are perpetuating the problem of this. Only some other white person from the outside can come and tell you how to be and who to be, and it still diminishes the people who are actually trying to uplift themselves.
You see, now the difference with me, like if you talk to other coaches, they were like, there's a group of coaches in Facebook, and that there are other white coaches I talk to. The other one last week challenged me. You can't keep on posting stuff about coaching. Who are you? Who did you study with? They're in Stellenbosch. Who are you? They wrote me a message in the messenger. I was like, okay, the first thing you do when you're talking to me as a coach, you first say hi, you introduce yourself, and then you ask the questions you want to ask in the right manner, then you get proper answers. You don't talk to me like you're talking to a young boy.
Right, exactly.
I am a coach.
Yeah.
Then she came back like, sorry, there are people who are taking chances. And I say, are you the guardian of coaches in this country?
Yeah.
After the question mark, and I said, okay, this is who I am. This is who I'm certified with. And then she sent them saying, okay, I'll go and check quickly. I'm like, oh, okay, you're even checking. Why would you put so much effort? I'm like, this is interesting.
Yeah.
And then she came back, oh, okay, I can see that you are certified. Okay, good luck in your work, and that was it.
Yeah.
So for me, how I treat things that happen in my life, that's why I teach my clients. Look for the positive, ignore the other ones. So the positive thing was for me, so the white people in Stellenbosch, they can feel my feet from all the way from Kylie Cha.
Yeah.
They can feel that I'm coming.
Fantastic.
Like, wow, this is great.
That's
I managed to shake someone in America and to shake people in Stellenbosch. People are uncomfortable now because there's a black coach. And I always say to people, if I had the guts to shoot someone and rob a jewelry store daylight, if I had so much pluck to do that, why can't I use the same attitude in what I'm doing? So for me, currently, it's not about money now. And again, the nice thing is, I'm not in the profession because it's making money. The profession defines me. That's who I am. I am change.
Yeah.
So the profession is my life, basically. So if I give up on the profession, I'm giving up on my life. Because hence now, if you look at the profession, the way I practice, I don't practice the standard practice of coaches. Because I'm also a spiritual healer. I'm a sangoma.
So that's what the last thing I wanted to ask you is, I know that you're a sangoma, and I do want to know how does that come in? Firstly, when did that happen? Where in that process did the sangomas find you?
So the sangoma found me in my gangsters years.
Okay.
But I kept on ignoring. I kept on saying there's no such thing. I'm not going to go there. These people, like, that's witchcraft. I don't want this thing. And I kept on ignoring it. Until a time where I was working, I think I was working for Sonke Gender Justice. I got into a car accident. I broke my 4 neck bones. I broke the hip. I broke the waist. I broke my knee. I broke lots of stuff. And my arms, my legs, everything was not working.
Sure.
So I was in hospital. And whilst I was sleeping there, it was amazing, man. I was like, okay. I was sleeping. I was in a coma firstly for about 3 months. So whilst I was sleeping there, my great-grandmother, the one from the German side, the daughter now, which is the mother, was black. They both came. It was like, it's real, it's happening. They both came. They said, you know what? You need to start helping people. People are dying. People are being mistreated. The society is being overtaken by the dark side.
Just to clarify, it's like they came in a dream.
I was unconscious. It's a vision. I was unconscious.
Yeah.
They told me that, you know, society is a mess because of you not answering your calling to help other people. So I had a conversation with them, like, what calling? You're supposed to get up there, help people to see things that they're not seeing, assist them, build the society through the spiritual side of things. Spirituality has been manipulated by the dark side. And I was like, there's no such. I ignored for several times. They came until they said to me, do you want to get better? And I was like, I've got nothing to lose. Okay. Yes. Okay, if you want to get better, then when you get out of this hospital, then you're going to start attending to your calling and helping other people like we're going to help you. And I said, deal. And at that time I knew I've got nothing to lose because I can't walk. I'm doing everything on the bed. I'm like, I'm going to die anyway. I promise you. One of them stood by my feet. One of them stood by my neck. They started pulling them. I could literally feeling someone pulling, and I could feel my bones moving. Then I woke up. In reality, when I woke up, I looked around me. There was a lady from my area who was a friend to my mother. She was also praying for me on the other side. I'm like, okay, so these two are in connection. But now with her, she doesn't believe in the ancestors. I'm like, yeah, you're missing something. Because your prayer was powerful. It took this. And she knew that I do ceremonies sometimes. So she knew I believe in this. When she prayed for me, she needed to mention that, okay, ancestors, this is your person, believes in you. Please help him. And they answered. So when I woke up, I opened my eyes. There was traction here. They drilled holes here to put traction in that. They put screws to pull mine in that. Then I was like that.
So that's how you woke up out of the coma?
Yes. And then I woke up.
So they literally took you out of the coma as well?
Then I woke up. Then I started having short memory. I couldn't remember people. I would remember this and I would remember that. And then I started asking. Now my mother was telling me after the hospital, she said, you kept on asking us about people who passed away a long time ago. Like, why is so-and-so not coming to visit me? Why is so-and-so not coming to the hospital? They kept on telling me, so-and-so passed away. Why do you want them to come visit you? And she tells me that you told us that you were with them on the other side. Why now when you have an accident they don't come but you spend time with them? So whilst I was in the coma, I went to the spiritual world. I spent time there. So for me, it didn't feel like I was in the coma for long because I felt like I was living somewhere, doing activities somewhere. So the shift from there now coming back to this, it does something to your soul. It's like someone's ripping your soul like roughly. You feel that you are getting into something again. So I had that experience. So I woke up, and then slowly my memory would come back. Then still I couldn't walk, I couldn't do anything. Then in a vision now, I was awake. My grandmother came, the mother to my mother, said, you must go home. Go spend the night at home. Get out of this hospital. And I told them I want to go home. They said, not now, you need to go for physio. And I said, I want to go home. So they signed, they said, everything that happens to you, we're not responsible. But in any case, we're going to take X-ray, we've put screws and that and that and that. But the way we put them, we know these parts won't work again. So we just put them for the sake of keeping you intact.
Right.
I was like, it's fine. I went home. I spent 2 days at home. When I woke up, my leg could move.
Just in 2 days?
2 days. My neck started having too much pains. I couldn't feel anything from the neck bone. They broke the neck bones. They had to cut from the waist bones to put it here. So when I went back, they were amazed. The doctors were amazed. They were like, what? What happened? They took me to X-ray. They said, but this is impossible. I said, what? Your bones grew over the screws within 2 days. That can never happen.
Of course.
So I went, okay, so they took me out of the hospital now and took me to rehab, where I would learn to walk and that and that. And then I went, I learned, and then the legs started responding, I started moving on, I used crutches. A week after, I was walking.
Wow.
And I said, you know what? My ancestors, my angels, they live. So what I'm going to do, again, the decision I took when I came out of gangsterism and didn't die, and I said I'm going to give back, and I said I'm going to give back, help people. So I saw my life is all about giving back now. So when you look at life coaching, you're changing people's lives for the better.
Yeah.
But I also have access to the spiritual side, see if there's any manipulation in your life.
Right.
Then I can be able to fix that manipulation and that we deal with the real person as well. So the two automatically infused together. And I became a spiritual coach. But not only spiritually, but spiritual life coach, which you won't find anywhere else in the world.
Because I was going to say.
I'm the only one. So when I do coaching with clients, the first thing I do now, we work on your identity. As who are you? The who are you is referring to not what is your name, but who are you? What is that thing that you are carrying that fulfills you after doing it? So I take them through a process when they get to understand that. You'll hear most of my clients, when they introduce themselves, you say, I am Rod. They will tell you, I am change. I am success. I am strategy. I am that. They have different names. They have those names now. Yeah. I told them when they talk to people, they should introduce themselves that manner now. So that they re-emphasize what they are. So once they found who they are and what are they carrying as a gift that they bring to the contribute to the world, and then we start growing that. That leads them to their careers, to businesses, to where they're going in life, but using who they are. So I'm making them get rid of these things people are saying that there's a professional you, there's a personal you. There's no such. There's only one you. And that you is change. I am change wherever I am. I might be in my surgery with clients spiritually. I want to change someone's life for the better day. I want to cleanse them. When I make them a better person, I'm going to build their connection with them and their ancestors and their spirits and their angels. Ensure that their life is good, they're taking care of them, their angels are guiding them so that they can succeed in life. We can go to a coaching session. I'm going to ensure you know your identity, you know who you are, you succeeded who you are, you build who you are so that people want to pay you for being who you are because they want what you are carrying. So I change people's life. That's who I am. I am change.
I know from my friend in Langa,
Yeah.
how much you can change her. She's like 75 years old.
Yeah.
And you think, how do you change? And in such a short amount of time, I was getting these phone calls from her. I was like, I couldn't believe the things she was telling me.
Yeah.
And you've really changed her life. So I know that that's real.
So I always encourage my clients on the first session that do not limit yourself. We tap into the subconscious mind. When you see this vision of yours, what do you see? The first step is to believe that you're going to do it. And then in your mind, you have what we call a reticular activating system that's on your brain. It's a gland that gives you ideas on how to get to what you've decided. So the first step is to decide on that. If you're not decided on that, then that gland won't show you how to. So I let them be convinced that they're going to do this. Then the second session, they come up and say, okay, I know I'm going to get there. So I help people to find themselves, because when people brought in this world, there's too much happening in this world. They move away from themselves to fit into what the world is offering. And then they leave themselves behind.
So what is your vision for the future? What is your plan?
So my plan for the future, I have an agenda with the world. I don't have an agenda with Cape Town, with Gogs, with South Africa. I have an agenda with the entire world.
Okay.
The entire world needs to hear what I'm saying. The entire world needs to go back to who they are. So I have an agenda with the world. So my future is to speak on international platforms, using techniques and coaching people how to get back to themselves and build themselves. So I have an agenda with the world. That's one. I need to travel the world and teach the world how to be themselves and how to change and being themselves and change the world to be a better place. I need to sit in platforms in UN, sit in platforms where presidents are going to meet and talk important issues about the world. Before they discuss anything, they must listen to me first. And then they discussed having this basis. Two is to dominate the TV and the radio industry. I would love to own a TV channel or radio channel, or being a host in some channel or TV on regular basis where we talk issues of personal development, issue by issue, on weekly, on daily. Three, the last one, I would love, now it's a personal goal of mine, I would love to build a coaching academy. However, on my personal space, which is the space of comfort, I would love for myself to have a stable life, which is a family of my own, get married. I love beautiful houses. I want to own a beautiful house, a 3-story house that's already here, where in my house we're gonna have different floors for different seasons. You have the summer floor, you have the winter floor, you have the autumn floor. The interior design is different. I would love to live in such a house. So that's what I want to do in future. Live a great life, a life that I want, but the life of influencing others, not to be like me,
No.
but to be themselves.
Exactly. That's your message.
Yes.
It all starts with you.
Yeah.
Be yourself,
Be yourself.
and everything starts
because
with
if you're not being yourself, you're robbing me of something I could benefit from you. So once you start being yourself, I'm gonna need you, and I'm gonna pay you for being you.
You can reach Coach Tshandu on this number and this email address, and I will be back next week at the usual time, same place.